Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chord Dave. This is Chord Dave Live because it's Saturday at 10 p.m. here in Ireland. And despite what YouTube said, we were always sticking to the original time today. So apologies for that. YouTube was being a little bit of a fucking pain in the ass. But anyway, it's Saturday night, so we got a beer. We might not get through it like we never do for during the live stream, but launch it to you. Yeah, hope you had a great evening, week even. All is good. Not a lot going on guitar wise. No videos actually made it out this week, aside from guitar wish list because of just craziness. Technical issues actually is what happened. Quite bizarre. Computer decided I'm not uploading your footage, so yeah, just didn't get around to re-recording a video. It's all sorted now, so videos will come out. The video I had ready for Thursday, we might just talk about it in this live stream instead. But yeah, let's dive in and see. I see some of you actually did arrive early today, so thanks for that. And again, apologies for being late. We are drinking some Grolsch, as you can see here, because you know, you can never have too many strap buttons or strap locks or whatever you want to call them, or not strap locks, strap buttons. But anyway, let's get into the comments, see how far we get before we run out of time. Here we go. So Scott Bogfoot, as usual, was here first. Good to see you, Scott. Thanks for dropping by. Stephen Fraser says, what is a Gibson authentic 1950 no tube truss rod? That's a great question. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they use two different types of truss rod. And so the no tube 50s one is basically what they use in all the reissues. I don't know that for sure, though. That's a little bit beyond my usual knowledge. So if anyone else knows, please do pop an answer in for sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like anything with a 50s reissue gets a different type of truss rod. That's the no tube one. I could be wrong about that though. So yeah, Al, I see you were here early and wondering where I was. I wasn't tuned into Marty's live stream. I rarely do. I feel like Marty started his live stream to spite me because it started not long after mine did on a Saturday, and it always starts just before mine as well. But yeah, Marty's great. I love Marty. Very cool stuff. I think everybody has watched Marty at one point or another. Very cool guy. But yeah, definitely not. No, I was prepping for this for the last hour or so for this stream and getting some stuff in order, which is very unusual. But yeah, Stephen says Gibson cherry red or TV yellow. Depends on the guitar. If you're talking about a special, it's TV yellow. If you're talking about a 335 cherry, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, special be yellow, TV yellow, maybe double cut special as well. But both are great. Both are great colors, to be honest. I'd lean more towards cherry red myself. Al straight in with LP in Bourbon Burst. Nothing wrong with Bourbon Burst at all. Tobacco Burst is a good one also, as he says. And he likes the dark outline. Very cool. Scott says Tobacco all the way. Tobacco Burst is very cool finish. All right. No scratch plate. I prefer Les Pauls with no scratch plate. Yeah, for sure. And if you're, I mean, I guess when you think about like obviously Strats, Tellys, you pretty much don't have an option, not really. But when it comes to Les Pauls, yeah, I would definitely go no scratch plate, no matter what the finish was. Al says scratch plate doesn't matter to me having a Les Paul and a PRS 245 without. Yeah, that's those. I wouldn't have one on either of those either, unless it was some kind of special model that had one or something. I don't know even what it would be, but as soon as I buy Les Paul, I take off the truss rod every time. So yeah, not a big fan of them. Truss rod, scratch plate. Sorry guys. It's been a long week trying to get stuff done. Let me see where else we got. Al says having a disturbing day. Was supposed to join Jeff McElrain for a rhythm guitar workshop, and Zoom replied that there was he was on another meeting. And now where's Dave? I guess that's probably because YouTube decided that they were gonna put the time on the stream for the time that I actually like change the settings, and I couldn't change it. So So yeah, I just caught it. Was able to change it like 10 minutes ago or something like that. Sorry about that once again. Let me see. Oh, you paid for that workshop and it didn't go through. That's unfortunate. Hopefully they'll be able to reschedule something like that. That's pretty. That's not pretty cool. You say also Al says discovered a blues band that I never heard before and I like them. It's a band called 10,000 Watts. Great blues guitar licks. Very cool. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Al, thanks for dropping that in the chat there. And oh, that's the name of the album. He said the band's called Altered 5 Blues Band. Interesting. Yeah, Altered 5 Blues Band. Have to check that out for sure. And let's see, so we're getting some noodling down, very cool. Stephen says, Stratosphere sells Gibson bodies with necks that the strings have been off for more than 2 years. I guess, would you buy one? Yeah. So the whole thing about if there's no strings on, there's no tension and stuff like that, it's never been a problem that I've come across anyway. I used to know someone who would only change one string at a time and that sort of stuff, and then I know other people that take all the strings off. It's not really. I mean, if you're shipping a guitar, you're going to loosen the strings, and who knows when the person's gonna get the guitar and tighten the strings and all that sort of stuff, and I'll probably change the strings. So yeah, I've never run into an issue with no strings on a guitar for an extended period of time. You can always correct things. You probably need to set it up again. That's all. Wouldn't be a big deal. But again, I'm no expert on that side of things, so hopefully that's not terrible advice. But I think if I wouldn't have any issues with it, I'd definitely pick one up if they were a good deal and they had something I wanted. And I've seen that they have pretty good deals usually. So yeah. Marsha's here. Nice to see you, Marsha. Say, hope you're fine on this beautiful Saturday in NYC. Anyway, hoping spring is here to stay. What was today like? It was fine. Yeah, it was all right here today. So yeah, it's kind of at that time of year. Spring needs to just hurry up at this point. It's a bit of a pain that it hasn't really arrived at this point. But hopefully in the next week or so. Yeah. But thanks, glad to have you here as always. Thanks for that. Al says, guess I was fooled by YouTube where it said it would start at 4:10. Yeah, that's YouTube again. Such a pain. Honestly, like I'm up to here with YouTube. I feel like telling it to get lost. Is there another platform? Can we move to another platform? Because YouTube's driving me crazy. What's the other one someone told me about? Twitch. Is anyone on Twitch? I believe that's better for creators. But YouTube's a pain in the arse. So who knows? Might have to ditch the YouTube and go on something else. Twitter video or Facebook video. I don't know what else has or could compete. Probably nothing. Stuck on YouTube, but it is very pain at the minute. Scott says the wife has COVID. I shouldn't have said the C word. Apologies. Let's rewind. The wife has C word. I can just feel myself getting sick. So this week will suck. Sorry to hear that, Scott. Yeah, that's terrible. Well, hopefully you will both feel better soon. Yeah, haven't had that thing myself yet, but yeah, hopefully you'll be good soon. And some dude called Chord Dave says, "Hey folks, we'll be live in 3 minutes," but that was a while ago. Anyway, let's see where we are. Dave's not here. Dave's not here, man. Al, I can already see this comment. I haven't read it fully yet, but it says lights dim up, camera ready, fade in the theme song with Van Morrison. Yeah. The GH. I actually saw something the other day that mentioned glory holes. I think it was a donut shop or something. I was like, I had to bring that to the team, but I didn't get the picture. Anthony is here. Hi, Anthony. Nice to see you. Yeah, all's well with me. Hope it's all good with you too. And Anna's here as well. Hi, Anne. Thanks for popping by, as always. Good to have you here. Ernie B is here. He says, guess what day it is? It's Chord Dave Live Day. Hopefully it's an NGD for you. So maybe that's why people ask what day it is. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Let's have a look. So we're all like, Glenn's here. Hi Glenn. Thanks for dropping by. Glenn, I know I said last week I'd respond to your email. I will absolutely do it this week. I keep forgetting. I've had a lot on my plate this week as well, and getting all kinds of things set up. And I rarely use the email that's listed on my videos. I only go if I know someone has written to me or if I'm checking something periodically. And I keep forgetting that you sent me an email. I will get into it. I will promise you. I'll respond to you the next couple of days. I really do promise. And thanks for reaching out to me as you have. That's really cool. Wayne McConnell's here. Nice to see you, Wayne. You're in Canada. A lot of Canadians watching the show all the time. This is pretty cool. We've got a bigger Canadian audience than Irish one, so I like that. I like it. It's very cool. Canada's a cool place. From my 11 days I spent there. Yeah, very cool. Anthony says, just got a really clean 2011 PRS 245 single cut, sold off some gear and that miserable Gretsch to pay for it. 245s are great. I spent a lot of time today actually looking at guitars. It's around that time. I did say I would be buying. I'd consider buying a guitar around April again, the end of April. 245s are definitely on the list to add to the collection at some point. But before I buy anything, I have to sell stuff. So just a reminder, my Epiphone Muse, which is in excellent condition, is still for sale on Reverb. I believe a link to my Reverb store is in all the descriptions of all the videos. So that's for sale. And also, and I am surprised this hasn't actually had any offers yet, but the Epiphone, it's not an Epiphone, it's a Squier Contemporary Telecaster in Shoreline Gold. That is a killer guitar, and I have it priced really low. So if you're interested in that, let me know. We can work something out if you want to. If anybody, and no matter where you are, I'll get it to you. I've sold guitars pretty much all over the world at this point. So if you're interested in either of those guitars, the Epiphone Les Paul Muse or the other one, this one, the Contemporary Telecaster, I'm more reluctant to sell this than the Muse. Just the Muse is not the right Les Paul for me. That's all it is. It is an actually really cool guitar. A lot of great like switching options and stuff like that. A lot of tonal capacities. Very cool guitar. But this Telecaster is fantastic. But yeah, I have some ideas for things I want to add to my collection. So I need to make some room and make some cash to bring those in. But yeah, glad you got your 245. That's a very cool thing to have. Let me see, where are we now? We're burning through some of the comments quite quickly, so that's cool. Benny Larson is here. Benny, nice to have you here. Thanks for making it, and yeah, good to see you as always. Matt Van Bosch is here on the Grolsch too. Good stuff. Yeah, it is a great beer. Grolsch is one of those I find the colder it is, the better it tastes. So yeah, don't try and drink it like when it hasn't chilled. So but yeah, to you, Matt. Good stuff. Let's see. Glenn says, does anyone run their pedal board through the FX loop and the front of the amp at the same time? And if so, is it worth it, or just run everything in the front of the amp? And Al has pretty much given my answer. Not advanced enough for a pedal board plugged direct in. So yeah, me too. Pretty much. In fact, I have my pedals lined up on the desk here, and then obviously my amp is back there. So for now, that's my setup. It's not really a proper pedal board setup at all. Although it's quite of a pain to get to the wah pedal, which is over there. It's a very temporary setup at the minute. So hopefully something cool coming on that front as well, so soon, but we'll see how it goes. Let me see, what else have we got here for things? I do want to talk to you guys as well about something that Gibson put out the other day. You know, there was what's the guy, was it Sergio Vallon, his Les Paul, cool 55 Les Paul reissue. It's not that, there's just something that I spotted and I was like, I must talk about the lads with that. So I did make a video about it, but I don't think I'm going to put it out now because it was kind of more of a Thursday night thing, and it wouldn't really make much sense anymore. So we'll talk about it in a little bit. So if you spotted anything from Gibson this week, let me know what you think it might be. Let me see. SB says, evening, I just sent in, I'm trying to understand you WhatsApp audio to a cute chick, I want to die. Yeah, we've all sent those messages over the years. And no matter what technology we're using, whether it be letters, postcards, whatever, we've all mistakenly sent things at times and been like, oh shit. Yeah, but here's to make you feel a little bit better about that, SB. The funny story, I was actually thinking about this the other day. When I was getting my start in the film business, I was like testing emails and stuff, and wasn't sure if my email account was actually working. So I wrote an email that said Dave is cool, hoping to send it to myself on a different email address just to make sure it arrived. And instead, I sent it to one of the most powerful people in Hollywood who got my email and was like, okay. I got an answer back that said, okay. I never heard from that person again, which, I mean, I can understand. If somebody sent me a message and said, I am cool, I'd be like, oh, all right, good for you. So yeah, so hopefully that makes you feel better. We've all done it. But yeah, maybe you can like turn it into a conversation starter, be like, oh my God, I'm such a fool and whatever. Turn it into some flirtatiousness and it can be the start of something. Or, just let the earth bury you deep, deep underground. Who knows? Yeah, hold on to it. Let's see. SB says, not a good one. Feelings suck. I'm worse than Sheldon Cooper. We've all been there, man. We've all been there. It's very look. It's very look. She's probably like, well, at least he's trying to understand me. That's a very important thing, understanding someone. So you never know. You never know. But anyway, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. I've done many WhatsApp message that probably shouldn't have been sent audio and everything. So it's all good. I sent one that I wanted to delete once and then found out that I could only delete it on my side. That was frustrating. And Anthony says, of course, don't forget to roundhouse that like button. Yeah. Liking the video is a very cool thing to do. And I'm just going to remind you guys as well, something you can do for the channel. And a lot of you guys are doing it. I know you are, because my watch time completion is really high. But the best thing you can do for any YouTube video you watch, any YouTube channel that you watch, is watch their video all the way from start to finish. And I know, look, I'll be watching videos and think, I've got the information I want from this, I'm going to click off. If you do that, it's actually, particularly in the first couple of minutes, it's really bad for the channel. The longer you watch, the better it is for the channel, whatever it is. So if you are watching the channel, keep watching. That's all I can say. No matter what you think of my channel, if you're on other channels, that helps them as well. Scott says, Dave, what do you think of KDH going to shops? My idea. Do you know these shops? Would you do a similar video or something different? I haven't actually watched that video yet. I'm way behind on my entire watch list on YouTube. But yeah, I haven't seen his video on going to shops in Ireland yet. I did see the thumbnail that keeps popping up for me. But I'll let you know, Scott, once I have seen it. I'll probably spend a bit of time on YouTube tomorrow watching stuff. I haven't seen Guitarista's latest 2 videos yet. So I've got a bit of catching up with that. I know they did some Les Paul Studio today. I haven't looked at Les Paul Studio in a while, so it'll be interesting. Actually, I have one in my watch list on Reverb, so I'll be interested to see. But it's not a new one, it's an old one. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll definitely check that out and let you know what I think. Anyway, let's check out what else we've got. Martin says, I've heard you should not loosen the strings when you travel or don't play the guitar for a long time. Several master luthiers have said doing so leaves room for the neck to warp and move. I mean, as I said, in my experience, it hasn't caused any issues ever. I've had several guitars that had no strings on them for a long time. Sort them out. Now they need a bit of a setup. Everything's fine then. But I'm no master luthier, so they are probably more qualified than I. But that's for sure. That's for sure. What I've done in the past. Yeah. Look, I suppose as well, if you're changing, if you're going from different climates and stuff like that, and you start messing around with it too early, obviously it's not a good thing. So there could be a lot of elements in play. But again, I'm no master luthier, so they probably know better than I do. Let's see what we've got. Maybe Elon will buy YouTube and make it great again. Well, yeah, Elon's one of those, isn't he? I know, I think he's an interesting dude. I just think like he's trying to just piss people off with Twitter, and I think it's hilarious watching him do it. There you go. I have no real strong opinion. I don't know. I've actually seen people arguing about whether he should be allowed to. Like, why does it matter to people? I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time on Twitter. I don't care about it. But like, if the dude has enough money and he wants to buy Twitter, why does anyone else care? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, it's not guitar related, so let's move on. SB says, I'm on Twitch with my real name. Ooh. Strongly advise you to try it, man. This time YouTube didn't send me a notification about the stream. See, that's the thing. YouTube is messing all sorts, and I don't know what's happening on the channel, but the stats on the channel have tanked in the last 2 months. Like, it's just gone almost through the floor since we hit 5,000. So yeah, I'm not overly chuffed with YouTube at the minute. So you never know. I might take a look at it. I am starting to get a little bit more time lately. You know, the whole new job and stuff gives me more time in the evenings and things. So I might have a look at it. We'll see. Marge says, yeah, let's see what Dave does with Twitch. I want to see him dance with his guitar collection or something dumb. I don't know if I'll be dancing. Just this kind of thing. Talking about, but I don't know. I've never actually been on Twitch. I know people stream on it all the time and like do like 6-hour streams and stuff. I won't do that because I have things to do. But yeah, I don't know. Someone recommended me to check it out because I was bitching about YouTube. I was like, I'm starting to lose my just any interest in doing YouTube. And I haven't really lost my interest in doing YouTube. It's just it gets really frustrating at times, and it's one of those times right now. It'll get good again. It's just got to wait for that to come around, and it's driving me fucking crazy that it's doing that. But that's just YouTube. Butterfly Effect says hello. Actually says hi. Well, I say hello back to you. God, nice to have you here as always. Thanks for dropping by. And Matt says to Marsh, agree on the neck string tension when shipping. Guitars are designed to be under tension constantly. Well, look. Absolutely. If that, like as I said, I can be wrong. I was wrong 3 times before. So yeah, I know. I just know that, as I said, that was just my personal experience with things. Al isn't having no beer today. Gonna go have a scotch. All right. Well, enjoy. And yeah, sludge it. Al, have a good one. Anthony asking, when it comes to cases, hard shell or gig bag. Depends really, I suppose. I'm a hard shell case kind of guy. I do like the PRS premium gig bag that they supply with their SE models. I think they're very cool. But yeah, honestly, once you hit a certain price level, I'm like, it should come with a case. And I think that mark is about 1,000. Once the guitar's in around 1,000, it should come with a hard shell case, in for my money. But that's just, you know, some people much prefer gig bags and never use a case. I do use a case. I bought a case by itself the other day. It should be arriving next week. So yeah, I'm a case guy. I think Scott might be a case guy as well. Certainly has a nice collection of guitar cases with guitars in them, from what he has shown on the Facebook group. Robert says, slightly late here. Morning all. Happy Easter. Indeed. If you're celebrating Easter or any other thing this week, and happy one of them. And yeah, Robert, nice to have you here as always. Hope your Sunday morning is going swimmingly well. Al says, I've heard from several sources, for storing guitars, don't loosen strings, must maintain the tension, otherwise neck will adjust to no tension. There you go. Interesting. Very interesting. Jess, nice to see you, Jess. Said, never done it myself, but always read that modulation effects work well in the FX loop. Anyone done this? Like I was saying, not really up to speed on those that kind of effects and things. I have 7 pedals, I think, and I rarely use them all or any of them. So yeah, not the guy on that one, but I'm sure somebody here has and will know better. Glenn says, no problem, Dave. Send the email when you get a chance. I know you're busy. Hope you're settling into the new job. And how are we doing on launching the TCD lingerie and underwear line? Gotta beat Gibson to the punch. Yeah, well, you know, it's a big week next week, so could be a new product launch at any time. Thanks for that. um, and then he says, my dog thinks I'm cool. Probably right. Your dog is probably right. And then SB says, thank you, I feel better. And you're right. Yeah. Listen, make the best of things when they do go wrong, because they will go wrong. That's one thing you can be sure of. Things you will do things that you didn't mean to, and vice versa. Just make the best of it. It's never worse. Somebody said something to me very interesting the other day, about making mistakes, and they said, very wise person said, nothing you can do is permanent. You can always go back and fix things. So, I mean, it's not always true. Some things are permanent, but in the grand scheme of things, 99% of things are not permanent. So that's how I look at things, particularly like messages and stuff. Be like, here's what I really meant. And you never know. Never know where it'll take you. Al says to Anthony, you got a 245. I think you're cool too. Absolutely. Definitely cool. Al says, can't watch Geek Lord all the way. Stop when he starts playing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, very good. I really want to. I really want to put out a t-shirt that's the exact same kind of image as his logo, but with Geek Lord written on it instead of his actual YouTube name. I think that would be hilarious, and only about, how many people are watching? Only the 19 people watching would actually get the joke. So I don't think I'm allowed to do it, but that's, so you guys know, that's what I want to do. Maybe that's for the underwear line. I don't know. Ideas. Anyway, do you or anybody have an inside word on the release of Rick Beato's double cut Gibson? Good to see you, Dave, as always. Ernie, I have not heard a confirmation on that day. I asked my Gibson people twice. I have two people who kind of have an inside track on Gibson. I've asked both of them. They have both said to me, we can't give you any update on that yet. And now, they, as you guys know, they gave me false information or inaccurate information early this year. So I don't know how much they still have an inside track, but I just have a funny feeling that's been cancelled. I don't know why. Now listen, they could turn around Tuesday and release it, but my inkling is that there was a lot of backlash over a YouTuber getting a signature Gibson guitar, and I think they just kind of went, let's cool our jets on that one. And yeah, I don't know if it's ever actually going to come out, to be honest with you. Now, at the same time, there's no reason for it not to. They were making them. They were in production. As far as I'm aware, they made a load to ship out. They just never released them. So yeah, I don't know. And Rick has kind of gone quiet on his channel. I haven't seen anything. Now, I don't watch all of his videos, but I've seen him use the guitar from time to time. But yeah, I haven't seen him post anything about it. So I don't know. It's interesting because I know a lot of people were pissed off about a YouTuber getting a signature guitar. I wouldn't have an issue with it. I think it's a cool guitar. It doesn't matter whose signature it is. And it looked like a pretty cool guitar. Pearl and Blue Special. Yeah, double cut. Looked pretty cool. So yeah, Ernie, it'd be nice to see that pop around or come around and actually get released. But we'll see. We'll have to talk to my friend Mark Ignisi about that and see. Can we just fast forward through YouTube videos and pretend we watched the entire thing? That might work. I don't know. Yeah, it's what I know is that they give us stats like on how much of the video or like where people are turning off. Mine is actually pretty good. Like a lot of people watch to at least halfway through and then it starts to tail off. But yeah, like it used to be different. It used to be like you'd get 30 seconds in and people would drop off. And maybe that's just I got better at making videos that kept people on for more than 30 seconds. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things that for some reason YouTube are like, well, people are liking your content if they watch all of it all the way through. And they actually have a scale, a chart that shows if your video is 5 minutes long, people need to watch X amount of time. If it's 10 minutes, it needs to be X. They need to watch X amount for it to be good. And then if it's like over 12 minutes, X amount of time. So the longer the video, the longer you watch, the better it is for the channel. I think if you fast forward, that's all good. Like watching 300% speed or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's when I tune out fast forward to final thoughts. Oh, when the dude is playing the guitar. Yeah, final thoughts are always interesting. Um, we would never fast forward through Dave's videos, would we? Feel free, it's fine. There's people I love on YouTube, and I play their videos at higher speeds, or skip through different parts, you know. And I know how YouTube works on from a creator's point of view, so I know sometimes skipping there. But I think if you watch like a good part of it, it doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, it's one of those. It's it's just YouTube being a pain. Like next month they could come out and be like, "Hey, we've got this other new thing you have to do on YouTube to be successful now." And I'll be doing it really well, so my channel will take off. And someone else who's doing really well right now will not be doing it so well, so they won't do so well. It's weird. They keep messing with it. And as soon as people figure out what it is, they change it. So YouTube's just a pain. Anyway, Al says, can anybody do what Rick Beato calls a simple lick? Even Marty Music says he can't. No, well, not definitely not. I've I've seen him sometimes. He's like, you know, he can play something pretty simple, and then he plays something. You're like, it's not simple. it's like it's like the most complicated thing. But I think he was like a very, or it is still a very advanced guitar player. Like he was teaching classical guitars and stuff like that, I think, at a high level at a college or something for maybe master's degree students or something. Like he's very well experienced, and obviously been playing for like 50 years or something. So yeah, Rick is a very cool guitar player. But yeah, not me for sure. By the way, I noticed a lot of channels have stalled on growth and views lately. It's not just Dave, like it's really noticeable. I'm wondering if YouTube is throttling growth on purpose or bugs in the algorithm. Well, thanks for pointing that out, Marcia. Yeah, it is actually. I've heard that a lot of channels have called out things, and I think a lot of us are getting frustrated. It could be something. It could be one of those things where they've changed something algorithm wise that nobody's cottoned on to yet. So those of us that were doing okay or felt like we were ticking along, like I never thought my channel was booming along. I just thought it was doing quite well. I was comfortable with the speed it was moving at. It wasn't too fast. Everything was fine, and there was a good growth every month. Now I'm like, what's happening? Like it's just so slow. Some videos get out, and I know like they're getting 200 impressions and 100 views. It's like if you get a lot of impressions, you get the more impressions you get, the more views you get. But if you're supposed to be, if you get 10% of the people who see your thumbnail click on it, that's really good. I'm getting like 40-50% because I'm getting such low numbers, and a lot of you guys are probably the only ones watching, getting the notification. That's really just driving me mad. I don't know. It could be something it's worth that, but YouTube, of course, won't answer our questions and talk to us about it. So there you go. But yeah, we'll leave YouTube out for now. I don't want to bash them too much because they have a platform and it's pretty good when it works. It just is not working for me right now. Andrew Collins says, what's your opinion on Michael Kelly guitars? Was thinking about buying that hybrid model. They're very cool. I've never actually gotten to play one, but I believe there's a wait list that's quite long for them. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, I mean that they appear to be very cool guitars. I'd love to get my hands on one and play one. So yeah, they seem very cool. Haven't seen the hybrid model you're talking about yet, and maybe I just haven't seen it yet myself. But I've heard nothing but good stuff about Michael Kelly guitars. Dean McCaskill says, hey Dave, just ordered a Dark Knight Pro 2 Strat. Ever try one? I basically just ordered it with my fingers crossed. I haven't tried one, but I'm very tempted by them. They're very cool. That Dark Knight finish from Fender is excellent, and I'm very excited by it. I'm also a big Batman fan, so the fact it's called Dark Knight, even though it's not like an official Dark Knight with a K kind of thing, I like it a lot. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, definitely let us know how that is when it arrives. But I'm pretty sure I've heard good reviews about that one, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. USA Pro, it's a pro or professional team. Anyway, those are the ones that came out last year, right? Those are pretty cool. You'll be good with that. Ernie says, thanks for working through these issues at YouTube. I was just telling my wife how much enjoyment I get from the show. Oh, that's cool, Ernie. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Ernie. Appreciate that so much. And yeah, look, that's why I'm here. I mean, if it, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd miss the community and the people who I get to talk to every week, and the camaraderie that we do have here on the channel, like the whole in jokes, this little the geek lord stuff, all that sort of stuff, and the fact that I see you guys on other guitar channels chatting to each other and stuff, I think which is great. I probably wouldn't be here, but I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to figure it out, and eventually we'll get going again. But I really appreciate the comments like that. That really makes it worthwhile. So thank you so much, Ernie. It's really nice of you to say so. Al says, the mono gig bag is awesome, but expensive. Yet that's what I'm going to get if I ever start gigging. Mono makes some good gig bags. That's 100% true. Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things that's worth investing in if you're going to be using gig bags. Get a really good one. What I don't like is a few years ago, Gibson did the really shitty ones. You remember? They were just like black canvasy ones. They were just really poor. The ones they do with their lower end models now are really good. They're soft cases. But yeah, I'm still disappointed when a guitar in Gibson's price range doesn't come with a hard shell case, because it should. Anthony says, when you get a new guitar, do you immediately start looking for things to replace, or are you content to leave as is? I can't help modify things, even if it's just knobs or strap locks. For me, yeah, I tend not to change too much. I'll do things like these things. Where's the one I had there? Oh, it's on the beer bottle. I put these things on it. Get a strap every time I buy a guitar. Buy a strap and put that on, and change the strings. That's what I do initially. That's it, and then just get used to it, get comfortable with it, and try and bond with it. That's the thing. And then when I make changes, like the biggest example is these Fender pickups, which I've been showing you guys since last summer. They're for the Harley Benton T20 that I bought early last year. And I've been waiting to put these into that guitar since I think July, or maybe August of last year. And they're still sitting on a shelf here that is hidden by Chuck Berry. So yeah, usually I'm very reluctant to actually get around to making those changes. Some of I mentioned, like, I have a case coming. I also have some stuff coming for my Flying V. My Flying V has some work needed on it, like badly needed on it. And I need some additional stuff. I was just going through it today. I was hoping to make a video for it for next week. Its birthday is Monday the 26th. And I was going to put out a video of it, like introducing it to people who don't come to the live stream and who haven't seen it. But it's probably going to be a couple of weeks later because it needs a couple more fixes before it's actually ready to even play. It's not playable at the minute because it needs a couple of things. So, and I still haven't figured out what the neck pickup is. I think it's a Gibson pickup, but I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll get into that. So basically my point is I change very little on the guitars until way down the line. Mostly because I'm scared of messing it up. But yeah, hopefully that'll all change soon, and I'll proactively actually make the changes. Pickups, I've all kinds of other things for other guitars that I just haven't got around to yet, as well, lying around. Glenn says, I watch Rick Beato. I like Rick Beato, and I am in awe of him. Yeah, I think we all are. He's great. I like him. I like when he breaks down songs. I like when he does greatest songs of the 80s or whatever it is. Like, he's very, very cool. I'm a huge fan of his channel. I think he's really great. And obviously as a guitar player, I think he's amazing. So anyway, that's Rick. He's cool. It is interesting that his Gibsons haven't come out though. Hopefully they'll come out soon. They might just be holding them to NAMM, by the way. That's Apparently, they are holding stuff back for now. We'll talk about that in a minute. Actually, let's do 11 o'clock. So on the hour, I'll go through some things that I have. This was on Instagram, so I just want to point them out. You probably have all seen them already, but it's worth talking about. I think they're holding stuff back for that because I don't have any information about anything coming from Gibson until then, which doesn't mean anything because my information about Gibson hasn't been accurate this year at all. Matt says, how can we help with the channel other than watching till the end and giving a like? Anything else we can do? Very kind of you, Matt. Thanks for that. Pretty much, I don't think there's a whole lot else that can be done on the viewer side. Like the video, watch as much of it as you can. Yeah, that's it. Like if you can share it somewhere, that'd be great. If you can't, don't worry about it. There's no worries whatsoever. Comments are always good, drives up engagement and things. I think as far as YouTube goes, there's just probably some internal change on the algorithm that wants people to do X, Y, or Z. That's not happening because people don't know about it. And it was similar a couple of years ago. There was things that you had to have, I don't know, a certain amount of clicks or whatever. But yeah, look, main things, give the videos a like, give them a view, leave them running if you're gonna watch them. That's the best thing you can do, is actually watch a video from start to finish. A like is important, is pretty cool too. And yeah, if you feel like commenting, that'd be great as well. And you know, just leave them on repeat on 15 devices, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for asking, Matt. But no, honestly, I feel like the people watching the stream, you guys are the guys pushing the stats up. My stats are really good, so why it's not growing or not getting pushed, it's just YouTube being a pain in the arse. Which I'm not surprised by. It's just the way YouTube is. It'll come around. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's all. And thank you so much for that question. Al says, for pedals, I have a Boss Looper, Noble's ODR1 and a Behringer delay. I have a Behringer delay. Yeah, vintage delay, great one. All my pedals are Behringer except for my Dunlop Wah. And I do have another one I haven't used yet, a Bluesy mini pedal that I haven't even plugged in yet, which I must do just to check it out. Yeah, I'm not much of a pedal. Never really got a full understanding of how to use pedals well, so I just try not to mess them up. But I do enjoy playing with them sometimes just to try and figure them out. Scott says, hard shell for everything. If it don't come with one, I'll get one, usually a Gator or SKB. Protector case is on its way. Awesome. Love those protector cases. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a phase where I'm like, I want to buy old guitars. So I think I mentioned this to you guys before. My new obsession guitar-wise, because I used to have this thing, I want to have a full set of guitars. And for me, that was an SG, a Les Paul, a Strat, a Tele, a PRS, and now I would say a Flying V, but before that I was like, I could take or leave a Flying V, it wouldn't really matter to me. So I feel like I have a full set now. I'm going to replace the Tele with a different Tele, and I'm going to replace the Les Paul with a different Les Paul, but I want to get a guitar from every decade from the 50s onwards. And I'm obviously not going to be buying a 59 Les Paul Burst, but I actually think it's achievable over the next couple of decades to do that. But so yeah, I'm looking at older things, and one of the things that I'm looking at is there a chainsaw case? Can I like pick up a 70s or 80s guitar with a chainsaw case? That's important. What kind of hardshell case is coming with other guitars? And can I pick up different ones? Like a 2015 case, I want to add one of those because that's different. Same with like those, what were they, like what were the cases? I think they were 2016, the aluminium ones, the ones that got really badly scratched and were super heavy. Supreme, something like that. Anyway, those ones, I want to pick up one of those. And I actually have one that I can get really cheap, considering that an actual Les Paul comes in it. and I'm just waiting to do a deal on that at some point in the future. But yeah, hardshell cases are very important to me. And like Scott says, for me, like I do buy cases separately, put guitars in them. I have a Gator case coming from my SG because I feel like it needs that protection. But I'm excited about for those protector cases that came back out, Scott. So I definitely want to see pictures of that SG once you get it in the case. That'll be very cool. Another TikTok idea for Dave: Geek Lord impressions. Oh God. Yeah, I'm not. I think I'd say. I think I will say I'm like the worst social media person. So I have another side hustle I'm working on kicking off pretty soon. Not related to guitars at all. I probably won't even mention it on the channel at any point. But one of the things I need to do for it is start an Instagram page. And I just have no inspiration to be on social media whatsoever. So, um, so yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen. To be honest, I might even just give up the whole idea. It's like, you want me to be on social media? I'm giving this up. That's how much I hate it. But anyway, Al says I'd buy 2 shirts. I presume the Geek Lord shirt. Yeah, it's just a great idea. I'll have to see if I can find even a cheeky way to use the same colors or something. But it's funny. T-shirt, by the way, if anyone is here for the first time, you don't know, T-shirts are available. This one here has a week left. That's right. The Freebird 3-Chord Dave quote T-shirt is being taken down from Teespring on the 26th of April, which is a week on Monday. So if you are interested in this T-shirt right here, which is the Freebird quote T-shirt, you got a week to get them. They have been quite, I'm going to say they've been fairly popular. People have picked them up. There's some people will be wearing them. They will be cool people. So if you want to be one of them, hit the link in the description of all the videos and get yourself one within the next week. Very purposely, that is around my payday. So I'm like, people will be on paydays. That's when we're taking them down. And a new special edition T-shirt will go out at some point that week as well. So I don't know if it'll be the Geek Lord one, but it might be. I can figure a way to do it without getting in trouble. Glenn says, I leave a new guitar alone for a while. I found that if I want to change something, sometimes giving it a little more time, more times than not, change my mind and leave it alone. Yeah, that's probably what I do. Like I will have great ideas for modding something and then just be like, actually, I like how it is. I very rarely actually get around to modding stuff, changing out pickups. I haven't changed pickups in a guitar in a long time, actually. And I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, I don't even know if my solder iron works anymore. So, to figure it out, it probably still works. It's fine. Scott says, when Geek Lord plays, I surf the comments. Comments have been pretty interesting. When he did his Union Jack guitar, there was a lot of Irish comments in there. Yeah, Irish Republican comments, I will say. That's all. Which is different, by the way, very, very different to American Republican stuff. It's very different. But the comments from an Irish perspective were hilarious. Anyway, moving on. Anthony says, I use gig bags mainly because of weight and ease of use. Hard shell cases barely fit in my Honda Civic, and my busted back can handle the bags easier. Look, that's a very good point. And if bags work for you better than cases, all good. A good gig bag will have ample protection for your guitar anyway, so it should be good. But yeah, that is an issue. Like if you're carrying more than one guitar and you have a case, sometimes, I mean, we don't all have huge cars that can carry. I changed my car recently, but the car I had before was pretty small, and yeah, moving stuff was a pain. So my, at the time, 7 or 8 guitar collection came over to the when I was moving it, and it took like 3 trips to get them all, including the acoustic as well, because that takes up quite a bit of space. So yeah, it's a pain. They could all fit in a new car, so I'm all good there. But yeah, it's definitely a very good point. People must have seen me moving into my new house and being like, he's just moving in guitars. What's going on? Is he setting up a music studio? Nobody's complained. Probably because I've got this big scary looking beard. But hey, unless I'm really into a guitar or it has weird pickups, I presume for modding stuff early. Al says, who would really buy a Beato guitar? Not me. I would buy it if I thought it was cool. I wouldn't care if it was a signature. There's signature guitars that have come out and I've been like, that's awesome. And I could just, as long as I don't have to reference that it's a signature guitar, I'd pick it up. Let me see who's a signature guitar that I don't really like them as a person or player or whatever. I'm not sure, but there's guitars that I like, and if it's a great guitar, a really nice guitar, and you guys know how much I love blue guitars, so that Beato one is actually something I really like. Um, but I wouldn't buy it if it was just a Rick Beato guitar. I wouldn't be buying it for that. I'd just be buying it because it's a cool guitar. Um, let's see. Hey, if Ellen DeGeneres can hawk her own underwear merch, does she really? Why not Dave? People say her undies are the best they've ever owned and super comfy. I think it's brilliant promoting. Does she really? She sells underwear? That's strange. um, yeah, there you go. Glenn says Rick was in a touring and recording musician before YouTube. Yeah, I know he's done a lot of production and stuff as well on stuff. Like he's a big part of the industry. Like he's a proper, like, of all the guitar YouTubers, that guy knows more than anybody about the actual business of guitar playing and everything. He's very cool. He has a lot of cool guitars. I love those videos where he goes through with the guy he brings in and he goes through his guitar collection. Some great stuff in there. Has anybody seen the collection with Mike Campbell, by the way? I'm only about halfway through it. And like he's like, I went into a pawn shop. I saw a Gibson Firebird 7 hanging on the wall. And I was like, yeah, I'll give you $100 for it. And the guy was like, yeah, sure. It's like, what? It's ridiculous. Like, but anyway. Scott says, everyone has a fan base. It's true. It's true. There's my friends and I are kind of a bit weird. And we were talking about crazy news stories. And one of them was this girl who was on a reality TV show. Let's just say she was selling jars. That's all. She was selling jars, telling people there was stuff. She was, I don't know if I should talk about this on the channel, because maybe this is why the channel isn't doing well at the minute. Okay, I'll tell. Here's the story. So she was on this reality TV show, and she got pretty popular on all the socials and stuff. And she started selling farts in a jar. $1,000 each. Farts in a jar. She started selling them, right? But she, I know, was eating lots of protein and stuff, and she ended up going to hospital because she had problems because of eating so much protein so that she could create more of these jars. I was like, dude, you're selling to these people who are going to give you $1,000 for a jar. You don't need to do nothing. All you need to do is, here's your jar, and they open it and they're disappointed. Or they're not disappointed because in their head, they're like, that's perfect. So I don't understand why she did that to herself. But the point being, yes, everybody has a fan base, and some of that fan base is willing to buy whatever that person puts out. So lesson to be learned. Yeah, people will buy a Rick Beato guitar. They'd probably sell 1,000 of them, no problem. And I think that if that guitar comes out, it will be a limited release. It'll be like a 300 or 400, something like that. So anyway, there's a weird way of talking about that story. You're welcome. Donald DeMille. Thanks, Donald, for popping by. Glad to have you here. And he says to Glenn, that has been my experience. I agree. Give it a minute. I agree with that too. Dave, you could call your underwear merch The Boys Are Back in Town. No charge for that idea. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate the free idea. And I will certainly put it under consideration. Matt says, I don't get the backlash on the Beato LP. He was a legit songwriter, producer pre-YouTube, and it looks like an interesting guitar. I do agree with that. I agree that it looks a very interesting guitar. And as I said, genuinely, like, of all the guitar or music related YouTubers, he's up there with the most legit. The arguments I've heard, and I don't agree with this, is he's a YouTuber. Why should he have a signature guitar? Or like, and the argument being Slash, that's fine, and Bonamassa, that's fine, and Joe Perry, that's fine, and like, but people who have like multi-million selling records, they should have signature guitars. I don't really buy into that. I think anyone who's been influential in the guitar space is deserving, or anyone who's designed a great guitar is deserving. So yeah, I don't think I agree with that at all. But I I definitely think it's an interesting guitar. I hope it comes out. I hope it does, because I was really interested to see it come out. I think it's an interesting direction, not just giving multi-million selling artists signature models and giving them to other people within the space. I think that's really cool. Um, yeah, you never know though. You never know. Maybe they are gonna put it out eventually. I hope they do. Moving on though, Scott says, I wish I had Rick Beato as my music teacher in school instead of who I had. I didn't even have a music teacher in school. So yeah, I would, I would concur with that. That would be so cool. Martin says, oh, so if there's an official YouTube watch cheat sheet, tell us how long we have to watch your vids at the start of each video so we will know when to fast forward. I can't do that, no, because you gotta watch all the way through. But pretty much over 50%. If you watch over 50%, that's in the good side, no matter how long the video is, over 50%. And the longer after 50%, the better it gets. That's the basic milestone that you're looking for there. SB says, well, it is done. I pushed the red button. I asked for her BFF to help me. If it's lost, it's lost, but she's always cool to me. I feel like I launched an emergency missile at a Michael Bay movie. Listen, sometimes the greatest things come out of things you think are the wrong move. Yeah, that's all I can say. From personal experience, you know, I had a situation not dissimilar to what I think you're talking about, where I was like, all right, I got to do something here, and I made the call, and I was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something, and that's where it started, and it's 10 years later. It's 9.5 years later. So, and all's good, all is okay. There's still issues. There's always issues. There's always things, but you never know. You never know is what I'm saying. Anyway, best look with it, by the way. Glenn Bailey says, the boys are back in town. Great product name. I feel like I'd get sued. But yeah, definitely a great product name for sure. Stuff like that could end up on a t-shirt someday. Or some underwear. We could manufacture the undies under the manufacturer Glory Hole with a W. Yeah. Just an old guy, Red Show would buy a Rick Beato guitar. Red Show's another one who's a legit, like he's a very legit YouTube guitar guy. I don't consider myself a legit music or guitar YouTube person, by the way. There's other people I think are not very legit. They're just people who are interested and they're doing a good job putting out good videos. I hope I fall into that category. I do my best to fall into that category. But then there's like upper levels of legit people. Rick Beato certainly one. Rhett Schultz certainly one. You know, you guys can tell me others. I think Marty Music is another one who's legit, proper, like deserves his place musically in the YouTube pantheon that he is in. And yeah, I mean, you know, we're just all out here doing our best. But Rachel, very cool. If you don't watch his videos, you definitely should. SB says, I like Rick Beato, but I think he even farts in key. Yeah, probably. Yeah, tax deductions on guitars. That's why I have a guitar channel. I can do tax deductions for guitars I buy. And for trips to things like NAMM and stuff like that. And I was hoping to get to my first NAMM show this summer, but I won't. It's going to be next January at the earliest. So that's just how it goes. Although I may plan another trip to California at some point. I have an idea for a video series I want to do. And if I can get some money put together to make it, I'll taking a quick trip out to California to do a couple of interviews and to make some additions to the collection while I'm there. But it's a way off. It's probably the end of the summer at the earliest, so don't be hanging around for it. But yeah, and if anyone lives out on the West Coast, we might do like a meetup if anyone's out there. But I think most of you guys are either in Canada or on the East Coast or East Coast area. So we might have to set up something else at another time. But anyway, yeah, that's why I have a YouTube channel. Tax deductions on guitar related stuff. It works. Had to buy this for my channel. Sorry. And my channel costs more than it makes. So there you go. It really does. How could you not hit the thumbs up? People don't. People don't. I had a video that had like 30,000 views and over 30,000 views, and it had a few hundred thumbs up, I think. I actually haven't looked. I should probably look at some point. But yeah, a lot of people don't do that. PRS has really nice gig bags. They do. And what I like about the PRS one is there's a hook in it and the back. It's kind of hidden at first. Once you find the hook, you can hang it up in your wardrobe. It's a very cool feature that they have. And their gig bags, which I haven't seen on any other gig bags, is already built in. So very cool. I like their gig bags a lot. I think they're very, very cool. Ernie B says, those rubber washer strap locks are awesome. I was spending way too much money on strap locks. Yeah, well, that's why you buy this beer, because you get a free one. It's and you get a beer. So you know who taught me that? Joe Bonamassa. So yeah, to Joe. I keep getting ads for his new album, by the way. I think it's his new album, Time Clocks. Yeah, so if anyone's listened to it, let me know. I haven't listened to it yet. Maybe when his new signature model comes out at the end of the year. Glenn says, I came for the free guitar. I wanted to flip it. What? But the more I listened and read the comments, there was something about this community. I didn't even answer any of the questions and being here enjoying the good peeps. Very cool, Glenn. Yeah, we're glad you came by. And actually, that was the last time the channel was really doing well, was when the giveaway was on. There's a lot of people came and subscribed to the channel once we were doing the giveaway. And that's what happens on channels. And I know, so I'm a bit reluctant to start a new giveaway soon, because if you do a giveaway soon after you've done a giveaway, people subscribe to the channel just for the giveaway. And then you do have worse performance because let's say I get 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers, but like 1,000 people watching your videos is not a good metric. So it kind of looks then in that case like you have a lot of fake subscribers, and that's never a good look. So yeah, I'm listening. A lot of people though have come to me and said, I started watching because of the giveaway. Really glad I stuck around. And so echoed your comment there, Glenn. Really appreciate you popping by. And it's good to have you here every week. You always add something to the chat, so thanks so much. James Everett says, yo, 3-chord Dave. Yo, James, how are you? Nice to see you, as it always is. Anthony says, I have a Squier Telecaster Custom and looking to replace the single coil in the bridge. Any recommendations? For Telecasters, I recommend these. These are the Tex-Mex Telecaster pickups from Fender. These are Mexican made pickups. This is not an ad, by the way. This is just what I'm going to put into mine. These were super cheap. These are like 80 euros, I think. They were super cheap for Fender pickups. And the reason I bought these is because I watched videos on YouTube of people using them and playing with them, and they sound great. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Tex-Mex Fender Mexican made pickups, about 80 euros, probably around $80. And very cool. So I did tell you guys I was going to show you something at 11, and it's now 6 minutes past 11. So let's dig into that. So we know Gibson has some signature models coming out. Anyone recognize this? I think this is very close, to be honest with you. So you guys, I'm sure, know what this is. But this is hanging in the custom shop display area, I guess it would be. So Cesar posted on Instagram. You guys follow Cesar on Instagram? And this is the one thing I do use Instagram for, is following guitar people. You your normal people like Cesar and Mark Agnesi and people like that are on there, and it's very cool. Your Gibson people. So Greeny here looks like he is ready to come out anytime soon. But there's some interesting ones on the wall here. I have the arrow pointing. This is the Adam Jones Silverburst Flying V, and it's actually on the custom shop production wall. I wonder, is it coming at NAMM? I just got that because it's got the Gumby style headstock on it, the very weird one. But you can also see a couple of other things I'm not super excited by. There appears to be a 54 Les Paul there, but there is a Dave Grohl, a DG335. That'd be cool. You had the one that they brought out the other day. Two of them, is it? But that's not all that was there. There's a Lucille, custom shop Lucille there as well. So the thing is, Cesar does kind of occasionally leak stuff that's coming out like fairly soon or in the future. So it's worth, if you're on Instagram, you're not following Cesar, you should. Here's that's his Twitter, his Instagram name thing. These guitars, by the way, are clearly the Dave Mustaine customs. These are coming very soon. I think this is the next big release from Gibson, because what I hear is that dealers are basically pissed off that they can't take orders for them because people know they're coming, and they're like, when can we order these Mustaine V's, the custom shop ones? They're, I think, going to be $5,000, and I think they're going to be snapped up at $5,000. So they're going to be somewhere between 5 to 10 for sure. I think they're going to be around 5 though. And this is not showing in the color very well, but that's more of a deep red. The one that's pointed to, and then the other four are black, and they appear to be all the same. I haven't seen any differences in them. So anyway, that's Instagram. Definitely check it out. And those are the Adam Jones and the Dave Mustaine ones are the ones to pay attention to. Those are coming. And maybe there's a DG335 coming. We'll see. We'll find out at NAMM about that one, I think, if it is coming. So anyway, that's all that. That's pretty much the only news really that I had this week. But I said I made a video about it, about the possibilities of these things coming, and the information about dealers being frustrated they can't order the Dave Mustaines. I don't think I'm going to put that video out now. It was kind of a thing. It worked on Thursday. It doesn't really work anymore. So thankfully, tech issues saved it. Probably wasn't a great video anyway. David Ruiz is here. Nice to see you, David. Thanks for dropping by. And Al says, I'm learning to swap the pickup in my leaning to swap the pickup in my 245. They sound brighter than burst bookers, but that may be a good thing. I'm already bought Dylan Talks Tones DAFs. I'm so confused. Yeah, I haven't ever known anyone who's used Dylan Talks Tones pickups. I've actually only realized he sold pickups recently. So yeah, I'd be interested to know, Al, what you think if you do pop them into your 245. I think the 245 is a great guitar. So depends what you do with it. But yeah, definitely keep us updated on that, Al. That'd be cool to know what they sound like. I think that those DAFs, they were like a very limited edition they did recently, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong. Mer says, by the way, all, hope I didn't miss your comments. I wasn't staring at the screen. My apologies if I did, but I didn't notice when I scrolled up. Don't want you to think I was rudely ignoring you. Ah, it's cool. We're used to it. We're used to it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like I do on this channel, I don't think you've missed anything. Maybe another chance, who knows? Scott says, what do you think of the DiMarzio X2N open coil humbuckers that are in the Vivian Campbell's Holy Driver Les Paul? I think they're cool. I think the DiMarzio pickups are cool. I haven't had any for a good while. Yeah, it's a good 4 or 5 years since I had some. I remember thinking they looked funky, and that's why I had some in an SG copy, maybe. No, not an SG copy, Les Paul copy. Years ago, and like one of the really bad Harley Bentons, which, to clarify, Harley Bentons used to be terrible. They're actually really good now. But yeah, I had some in one of those years ago, and they were great. They were great. Now, not X2Ns. I haven't really played them. I haven't played a Holy Driver Les Paul. I guess, I mean, they must have been signed off. I don't know. I honestly don't know about them. I don't remember listening to, or having anyone, seeing anyone playing one of those. So, um, yeah, I'll have to check it out actually, to be honest, because I wouldn't want to say, oh, they're definitely this or definitely that when I haven't, and I'm not sure. So, so yeah, I'll check it out and let you know as well. I think that's two things I have to come back to you on. But I'll keep an eye out for that. Anthony says, I want to love Gibson, but the company is so hit or miss and ridiculous pricing for inconsistent quality. For me, it has knocked them completely off my radar. And right underneath, Al says, love my Gibsons. Those Gibsons will be pretty good quality wise. Yeah, what I would say is the new Gibson ownership, when they came in, they started doing things right. And then they started looking at other things. And I still think they're doing a lot of things right, but they need to get back to focusing on getting the little things right. And while it might sound a little bit counterproductive, they need to make less guitars or have less pressure on people. So the people actually on the factory floor making the guitars need to not have a rushed quota. They need to be given time to make the guitar right. And I think that's where we're seeing the problems, because it's over the last 2 years. What's been happening over the last 2 years in the guitar market, you can't make guitars quick enough for them to be sold. They're, because there's new people picking up the guitar all the time because they've been in lockdowns and laid off, or they're working at home and all that kind of stuff. So they have a little bit more time. And so there's new guitar players all the time, and they're progressing through the ranks. They're starting off with Squires or Epiphones, and they're moving their way up to Gibsons and then custom shops and all kinds of things. But I think what's happened in that time at Gibson, obviously they also have workplace constraints. They have less people working at a time. They have less people on per shift and so on, but they still have to make more guitars. So I think this is going to sound like a stupid thing to say, but the pandemic has been a good thing for them and a bad thing. And the reason it's been a bad thing is they've kind of pushed people a bit harder than they were pushing them. And quality was always an issue. They never got it 100%. So they need to slow down. They need to give people a bit of a break and say, right, your quota, that's 45. We're taking that down to 30, but those 30 have to be fucking perfect. And I don't think they're ever going to do that. So it's like a lot of businesses, they're trying to squeeze every penny out because they're still in that making their money back phase. Give it 10 years. I think we might see something really great out of this Gibson ownership. But unfortunately, it's going to take time. And that's just my opinion. They could turn around and knock the crap out of it and be brilliant, like from today onwards. But like our friend Muddy H2O showed in our Facebook group, he got a $10,000 Gibson Flying V, Carina V. It was his dream guitar. He did what he needed to do to get it, and it came in, and it was quality control was terrible. He had to send it back. And that kind of thing, like people have dream guitars that are Gibsons, they do whatever, they sell things, they save up for years, they buy them, and then they're not good when they arrive. It's not good enough. And it'd be okay if it was 1 in 1,000 or 1 in a couple of hundred, but it's like 1 in 10. That's terrible. So it's probably even higher than that. So yeah, in terms of that, they need to just stop worrying about money. Money will come in when your quality is better. And maybe I should just make another Gibson rant video, because it seems like I have a lot to say about it. But again, I don't really have inside information on how the factories run or anything, but I think that's how it works. Is each person comes in, they've got a certain quality number, and it doesn't mean like the quality of the guitar. It's like they have to make a certain amount of guitars per day, and if they don't make that number of guitars, they get like a warning or a disciplinary or whatever. So people are doing their best, and they're just getting the guitars as good as they can while hitting that number, whatever it might be. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 40, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely think there's an issue there. You got to let people make good stuff and just take their time. These things can't be rushed because they're investment pieces a lot of the time, so they need to be great. And yeah, they're not doing that. Like, I wouldn't have an issue so much if they weren't expensive. But Anthony, you make a good point. I love Gibson. I just wish they were better, and they will get better eventually. So hopefully, like, watch this video in 10 years time back and you'll be like, hey, Dave was right. Eventually they got good. Or they got bought out by someone else and they went through the same shitty cycle again. That could happen. We're used to me talking a lot, so when I stop, someone might wonder. Oh, no, Marcia, not at all. We always know you're around somewhere. They've definitely improved with the new boss in charge. That's for sure. They have. They're trying to focus on all sides of the business. I think they need to just take it step by step. William Alexander's here. He says, "Good evening, all. Way late, but thumbs up clicked. Glad to be here. We're glad to have you. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely." William Alexander says, "I'm with you, Dave. Social media just too crazy these days. So many people just crazy about it." Anthony says, "I quit social media almost 4 years ago. My life became happier overnight. Social media is social cancer." It's definitely not my favorite thing. I will say that. Yeah, not a fan of it. Imitating Geek Lord is easy. Hold a 20k guitar in your hand and say, "You think it would be better if this or had that?" Always drives me nuts. Yeah, I see your point. Or just like unbox, like, I know what, 8 like $20,000 guitars at a time. I bought this collection of guitars for 100 grand. Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm not jealous. What's everyone's opinion on in-case humidity level meters? I'm too basic for that, Scott. I really don't know. So yeah, it's something someone else will have to answer on. Donald says, "Watching from Atlanta, Georgia, USA every Saturday at my time, 5 p.m. TCD is must-see TV." Wow, thanks, Donald. Appreciate that. That's super cool of you to say so. It's really cool to hear. So thanks so much. And yeah, Atlanta is definitely a place I'd like to visit at some point. Not just because I believe the Coca-Cola factory is there, but definitely it's on the list. I don't really drink Coca-Cola anymore, but yeah, I'm sure I could be enticed. Have a Coke or two. Anthony says, actually, if there's Jack Daniels in it, I'd definitely partake in that. Anthony says, "The Irish rock. I like him so much. I married one." Oh, Irish women, they're dangerous. Just so you know, you probably already know. Just don't get them mad. Yeah, definitely don't get them mad. Don't even pretend. Don't even. Just be very careful and realize that they could be plotting your murder at any point in time. It could be like having the greatest day ever, and they're like, Irish women are just the best. Anyway, William says, "My Explorer case almost requires a weightlifting belt." There are some cases which are like that. Yeah, for sure. If I do get around to buying that big aluminium one or aluminum one, yeah, those are particularly heavy, and the Les Paul inside it is nearly 10 pounds as well. So it doesn't, I won't have to do a workout routine, just lift my guitar from room to room. Scott says, "Minor case queens, bag queens don't sound so good." Bag queens. There's something to that. I don't know if it's good or bad. Probably bad. But yeah, for sure. It just sounds like a different thing, doesn't it? For my good guitars, I use Diodario humid bags in the case, just in case. See what I did there? Yes, indeed, Al. We do. Good stuff. Yeah, I'd say something like that, purpose built for it. So yeah, it's worthwhile getting something like that, I think. Particularly if you're in a humid or like a climate that kind of is up and down a little bit. Marcia says, "Social media is worse than the wild, wild west, but maybe you can enlist volunteers to help manage those accounts the same way some YouTubers have official volunteer moderators for live streams." Yeah, I was thinking of adding a couple of you as mods at some point. But, I think we do need to have a slightly bigger stream before that's necessary. But I'll be calling on some of you at some point. The only problem with doing something like that from my point, is that I'll just be signing it off completely to you guys, because I'll have the best of intentions. I just won't get around to it. I know I won't. Yeah, for sure. It's a good idea though, Marcia. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. And social media is a cesspool. Wait, isn't YouTube a social media? Yeah, it is. It's the only one I actually partake in on a regular basis. Um, I have to admit, I do watch Instagram or not watch Instagram, but view Instagram from time to time, particularly for stuff like people like Cesar and Mark and things with musicians when I'm trying to see stuff that they've got coming out or figure out stuff. Because so honestly, sometimes some of the information I get for the channel, I'll figure out something or I'll spot something and then I'll ask the right person the right question, and that's how I get the information out of them. So we've got that, and sometimes somebody, a few times people, and I think some of you might be in the room, have sent me information and gone, hey, have you seen this on Instagram? Hey, have you seen that on Facebook? And then I'll go to it and check it out, and then I'll dig a little bit and see if I can get someone else to give me spill some beans for me. But yeah, it's all out there. There's ways of finding bits and bobs of information. But yeah, social media, YouTube, it is one, unfortunately. Just sold a coffin case yesterday, took up too much space. I do have more hard cases than bags, feel both can work. Yeah, I think it's a conversation we've had a few times on the channel here. I do personally believe, like, I think every guitar should come with a gig bag, regardless of price. And yes, even if it's like $100 or €100 and it's a crappy gig bag, it should still come with one. They include them in some of the very cheapest guitars. So even those kind of gig bags should come in, because beginners just need to feel something is protecting their guitar. And then you move up. The more you go up in price, the better your gig bag gets. And don't forget, everything that comes with your guitar is built into the price. They give you nothing free. So it would be worth that extra $5 to add that little something into it. But yeah, I think you should move up. You should get like a basic gig bag, then you should get like a more premium one, then you get like a PRS level one, then you get what Gibson do, and then you get the hardshell case. But I still think any Gibson should come in a hardshell case. And once you're hitting $1,000, I think you're in hardshell territory. For my money, anyway. So let's see. Where was I? Ricky Compton says, nice to see you, Ricky, by the way. Thanks for dropping by. My wife bought me a Gibson Tony Iommi SG for Christmas. I love it. Way different neck profile than my 2019 61 reissue. Those are very cool guitars. Very cool wife to buy you one of those. Yeah, excellent stuff. Yeah, I like the Tony Iommis. They're very, very cool. I wish though, because it's a special, and I have a very special affinity for the Les Paul special, or the SG special. I wish they'd just brought the price a little bit lower. They should have been about 1,800 max, I think, but that's just what I feel. But yeah, those are excellent guitars, and I kind of regret not picking one up, to be honest with you. Scott says, how about the Tommy Thayer Blue Sparkle Les Paul, Dave? I actually was looking at one on Reverb today, and I don't know, I kind of like it and I kind of really hate it. Tommy Thayer is pretty cool. I don't care what anyone says. Kiss are just one of those bands. Everyone knows a Kiss song. Everyone knows a Kiss song. But and they're kind of crazy and out there. And I know Gene Simmons is a wacko person, but he's funny. I like him. And yeah, the whole Tommy Thayer thing. That blue Les Paul is probably the most grotesque thing that I would consider buying, but also I think it's kind of cool. I do. And I like the fact that the case is blue. But I would probably buy it and then regret buying it, I think. And I don't like the headstock. I know it's the elongated thing. I just put the new style, which is on them 3 years now, 2 years. Yeah, they should definitely put that on it instead of the elongated one. Beato was a university music teacher in his 20s. Yeah, I think I said that. Well, he definitely knew that about him. He's great. He is really great. Dave didn't like the Epi / collection. True. I liked them. I just didn't like they put Pro Bookers in them. Custom Pro Bookers. Yeah, right. The collection videos are great. Yeah, the collection from Gibson is a really good video. Rick Nielsen one is fantastic. Um, the Brian Ray one is really good as well. But yeah, if you, Gibson TV or Gibson's YouTube channel does put out some decent content, and you should definitely check them out. But I like this Mike Campbell one is fantastic so far. And I said I'm only about halfway through. They're talking about like very old acoustics that Mike has in his collection, and Mark Agnesi's like, I think this is the 1920s. Like, and Mike Campbell's like, what now? What's this? What's that? But it's very cool to hear how some of these like big rock stars playing with some of the biggest bands in the world. Like he's just like, I'm on tour with Fleetwood Mac, and I went into a pawn shop and bought a guitar for $100 or $500. I think it was. Like, oh, Jesus, why don't I ever get these super awesome deals? I think that was the one that was signed by Johnny Winter. Anyway. Donald says, not sure if just me, I don't have room for cases, but my guitars are pretty cheap. Charlie Benton's and Slick guitars. I do. So all of my protestations that cases are great and everything should come in a case. I tend to keep most of my guitars on stands, and I do like a good stand as well. A good stand is brilliant, but so I don't keep things in their cases too often. But it's when it comes to moving them, when it comes to taking them somewhere, packing a car, like moving house, and I know that doesn't happen every month or every week, but if you're moving house and you've got 10 guitars, like I do, I want to have them in a case. It just because even though the trip might not be super long, like 20 minutes or something, it's not super comfortable. I always am worried when I'm bringing a guitar in the car in any way whatsoever. And the roads here, this will shock you. The roads here in Ireland can go between pretty good to absolutely terrible. Just like that. So yeah, I would say when it comes to that, that's why I like to have cases for my guitars. But I do get nervous of them when they're in the bags. But anyway, they're good for me out on stands because I like to see them and pick them up and all that sort of stuff. Ryan Byrne is here, says hi, or says hey. Hey Ryan, good to have you here as always. Thanks for post in the Facebook group. Very cool looking guitars. There, that Les Paul and the Telecaster, and that little stack of Marshall stuff. Not jealous, swear, not jealous at all. Kind of jealous. Days are long gone where you can walk into a pawn shop and find a good classic guitar. Yeah, and I think Mike actually said that in the collection. He's like, you can't get, those days are gone, because people caught on to the fact that guitars are worth money now. Let me see. Oh, we're still talking. Oh, we're talking about the farts in the jar. Yeah, geez, we're way back. Yes, go check Ellen's merch shop. It started as a joke at first, and then the second season they started giving them to all her guests, and then her loyal fans begged for them, so she's been selling them ever since. Wow, that's crazy. Let's see. They should give Farts in a Jar a signature guitar. Not so sure. She always releases new designs too. I wonder if she will keep selling them. She might. She might. Cushman NYC says, hey Dave and all. Hey Cushman, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. After seeing those Gibsons that were shaped like race cars, who can bitch about Beato getting a signature guitar? The earlier comment was correct. He was in music and still is as a career. Yeah. Genuinely think he's like the most legit person. He's not the most legit person to ever get a signature guitar, but he's definitely, like, I would have no problem with it. And it's a cool looking guitar. That was the main thing. SB, thanks man, feel at the right place today. Best place to be. Thanks for making me feel better. Thanks for popping along. It always makes me feel better when you guys are here. So yeah, don't worry. We're all here for you. I heard somebody say Beato's consistent ramble of strikes and takedowns might not occur if he didn't consistently promote his stuff. YouTube may be looking that he uses music for promotion. Yeah, it's essentially what happens. So if you use, you can like go through a song, and if it's educational, you can use a song. So you can do like a lesson on a song, you can do whatever. But if during that video you say something like, this video is sponsored by Grolsch Beer. That then becomes an ad. You're using that music in an ad. So they copyright strike you, and basically they get any money from your ad revenue. And also you can't do that too many times or your channel just stops getting promoted and stuff. But yeah, I saw that being said, that the reason he was getting all these strikes was because he does that. He goes through all the stuff and then he goes, hey, buy my book, buy my course, buy my link, here's all my stuff, here's my t-shirts, here's my that. And if you're going to do educational videos, you can't do that. So yeah, that's exactly right. Al, I think exactly what he's have happening to him. And it's YouTube as a business is really tricky. There's some things you can do, some things you can't, and that's one of them you can't. But he does do it, but it works for him. You know, that's how he makes his money on YouTube. Is the sales of things. He's not really concerned with his ad revenue, as far as I'm aware. Scott Bogfoot says norms. Yeah, it's on the list. It's on the list for that trip. Chris Book is way legit. Slash is a fan of his. Chris Book is legit. Yeah, he's one of those people who'd be in that legit bracket for sure. Gibson gave Marty Music a 335, better than his name on a guitar. That was a cool video where they, I think that was an ad. Pretty much, they were like, let's go. I mean, I know Marty works with Gibson a little bit, and he's almost a signature artist at this point, in the way that Tyler Larson is a PRS signature artist for Gibson, or for PRS, but obviously Marty for Gibson. But it was cool. Like, they went through the whole production of a 335 and they're like, hey, this is for you. That was great. And that 335 is beautiful. And that's the color I would want in mine. Mine to be. Let me see. Anthony says, I'd be afraid to play that expensive of a guitar. Yeah. The thing with that is you just got to go, it's a guitar, and just not worry about the price of it. Because one way or another, it's going to get dings and scratches and everything on it anyway. As someone who is literally the most careful with his guitars, I can tell you that's true. Heard that those with signature guitars make about $6 on a 1,500 or so guitar. That's interesting. I would guess it would depend on how big a deal. They could negotiate. Like, bigger stars obviously going to get a bigger deal, bigger runs. I mean, I'm sure the people whose guitars are getting like a 300 unit release are not interested in 600 or $6 per guitar. But at the same time, they get lots of prototypes for that, and they get lots of other perks. But yeah, like and I'm sure each company is different, but it's definitely an interesting one. I wonder how much they actually do get, because there's usually at least a $300 premium for a signature guitar. In terms of against the normal model. That'd be an interesting thing to look into. Scott says, I can't leave Newfoundland. I'm frightened to death of the ocean, and I don't like planes. The BA, like BA from the A-Team. Oh yeah, I ain't getting on no plane. Those are the days, man. That was cool. Ernie B says, I'll be glad to go to Nam in your place. Hell, I'll go. Yeah, I was close to going. It's a number of things. Like, switching jobs kind of means I can't really take too much time off early in the new position. And you know, it wouldn't be a good look. And then just everything that's going on. Like, there's still loads of crap going on in the airport and everything. Apparently in Dublin airports, there's like a 4-hour, 5-hour queue just to get through security. Lots of people missing their flights and things, and I'm just gonna wait for all that to pass. I'm not really interested in that. Airports piss me off at the best of times, and it appears to be the worst of times for airports. So yeah, not interested in it. So I'd love to go to Nam. I also kind of think this next one's going to be a bit of a shit show, and then they'll get back to normal in January. So I'll be looking forward. So January, I have my eye on for sure, going to Nam. And if anyone else is going, let me know. And if anyone else would like to go when I'm going, I probably will be able to get 2 or 3 extra passes. So we might be able to figure something else out at that, because I'll need assistance I'll need a crew, all that sort of stuff. We'll get a couple of passes. So yeah, that we can look into that closer to the time. But yeah, it'd be cool if people are going for sure, or want to go. Chris Book is amazing. Yeah, Chris Book is cool. Ernie says, "Oh, dude, I found out about the hook in the gig bag from watching KYG. That's so useful. Know your gear for KYG, by the way. So useful. Mine is hanging from it right now. Yeah, I always keep my gig bag in the wardrobe, and it's from PRS. Yeah, and I think that's where I saw it first. Before I bought a PRS, I was like, oh, there's a hook on this. And I went looking for it then when mine arrived. Yeah, they're very, very useful. It's a nice little feature. Oh my God, that was a while ago. We're 20 minutes away from the end, and I'm probably about 4 hours away on all the comments, guys. I'll try my best to get through them all. Thanks for making this a very cool stream. Lots to talk about here tonight. I do have a video. By the way, Scott posted a very cool picture of the collection. Which one was it? An Epiphone collection of stuff. I didn't import the picture. I'll try and get to it if I can at the end. But if you haven't seen it, the Facebook page is linked in all the videos. Go check it out. Scott posts more than anyone else there, and he posts some very cool stuff. So you should definitely check that out if you haven't already. Let's see. Chris Book videos make me want to play. He's very cool. I like a lot of his videos. He uses like a Yamaha Revstar actually quite a lot. It's just very cool. Like one of the older ones. Glenn says, I'm feeling a West Coast, East Coast TCD summer meet tour instead of the No Airplane tour. It'd be TCD No Glory Hole tour. 22. I don't know. I'm kind of scared now. We'll see what can happen. And Vincent says, have a Jackson Rhodes V, and the case is huge. Yeah, the cases for those are huge. Real pain in the arse. Yeah. I'm not even a big fan of the standard V case, to be honest. But what else can you do? I guess. But yeah, I've seen the Rhodes Vs are massive. Scott says, I started watching you because you have the first scoop I see on the Panamasa Epiphones. It's cool to know that's what brought you here. Yeah, I can't remember. I know somebody pointed it out to me that he was after posting on Instagram, and we had I had then some information arrive literally at the same time about the guitar. And then I found out that some website had that information up for like 4 weeks before I got it. So yeah, anyway, I hadn't seen it on YouTube, but a couple of things like that have happened, which is cool. And I've had, over the course of the 2.5 years or so of the channel, I've had very early information up about a few things. So I'm been disappointed when the channel didn't blow up. Like when I got the pricing information for the Slash Epiphones and the full specs, I was like, this channel's gonna blow up to like, it's gonna go to like 50,000 overnight. Got like 800 views. It's like, damn it. Like not overnight, like in about 2 weeks. It's like, damn it, didn't blow up. Yeah, YouTube's a mystery, I guess. And he says, thanks for the pup recommendation. Anytime. Big fan of pups. Dave Grohl under. Yeah, Dave Grohl is one I predicted, if you remember, for 2022. I'd be great if that came out. So yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if they did that. Benny says he came for the SG talk. Do love an SG. Do love talking about it. I very much may end up picking up another SG very soon, actually. When I say very soon, that means sometime in the next year. But yeah, I really want to pick up a new SG. It's just been a while since I bought one. Stayed for the community. The community are the best part of the channel, to be honest. You guys are cool. Andrew Collins says, what do you guys think on... Hang on, I'll try read properly. What do you think of guys on YouTube that have many guitars and all they do is give reviews? And most of them can't even play, but have tons of guitars and amps collecting dust. There are people, Andrew, who will put me in that category. So I don't know if I should comment too much. I don't look. If you have the money to buy guitars or pianos or teddy bears, or whatever the hell it is you want to collect, and you get enjoyment out of it. It's not for anyone else to tell you you shouldn't or you can't or they're better than you are, which which I've had all of the above on the channel over the years. But what I would say is, as long as they're being honest, I think it's fine. If they're being dishonest or not genuine in any way, then it's a pain and it's a turn off. And I'm pretty good at spotting them, I think. People who are bullshitting and pretending to be something that they're not, and also pretending they're not sponsored or paid off in any way when they are. There's a lot of that going around. But yeah, honestly, I think when you can tell when people on YouTube are genuine, and as I said, there's people who out there who have watched my videos and been like, "You're an idiot. You can't play great guitar. You shouldn't own more than one guitar." And that's a perfectly legit, valid thought for someone to have. But if I have, worked all week or all month or whatever, and I want to buy a guitar, nobody can tell me not to. Well, one person can tell me not to, but I'll still probably tell her I'm going to buy it anyway. So, the other thing is, in terms of having lots of guitars collecting dust, some of the best guitar players in the world have tons of guitars and all they do is collect dust because they just have too many to get around to. I try, like, I'll openly tell you, I'm not a very good guitar player, I'm not a great guitar player, but I play guitar every day, and I usually pick up a different guitar every day. So, okay, it's not for anyone to judge what anyone else does with their money or what they do with their guitars. The fact that someone makes YouTube videos, it gives you a choice. You can listen to their videos and their opinion, or you can be like, this guy's an idiot, and turn off on him. And that's what I think people should do. I don't think people should worry about it too much. And I remember I had a conversation with one guy in one of my comments sections and something like that. He was saying, like, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have guitars. You shouldn't buy any more guitars. And I was like, well, why? And then his comment was something along the lines of, I like guitars more than you do, or so you shouldn't have more guitars than me. See, that makes no sense. So anyway, each to their own, whatever, as long as they're being genuine and honest, I don't think there's a problem. I always try to be honest and genuine with everyone. So, but yeah, funnily enough, Andrew, well, I appreciate your question. There's a lot of people who put me in that bracket, so I probably shouldn't have answered or said a word about it. There you go. There's a lot of people who put me in that bracket. Cushman says, I pulled the trigger on the Epi 61 SG. Very cool. Those are awesome. Did you get the white one or the cherry one? I think I'd go, I know I would go with the cherry one myself, but let me know. Todd Moore is here. Good to see you, Todd. He says, hello all, had some technical difficulties and just now getting here. We're always glad to see you, Todd. Thanks for sticking through the technical difficulties. I've had some this week, so I'm glad you made it, and we both made it. Good stuff. Benny Larson, in other words, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. These guys here are cool. We enjoy having you here, Benny, so thank you so much for that. And Todd Moore says, SG stuff led me here. The folks got me to stay. Nice. Yeah, you guys are here for the right stuff, because there will be lots more SG stuff eventually down the road. My SG needs a little bit of tender love and care right now, and hopefully I'll get to it tomorrow or Monday, because it's a holiday. So yay. So we'll see. The X2N is a great metal pickup. Good to know. Excellent. Yeah, that's I mean, that would be right for Vivian Campbell. So it sounds like they did the right thing. Thankfully. Todd says, Scott and Dave, I remember vividly seeing Vivian Campbell's X2N equipped Les Paul and falling instantly in love with their innate metalness. Metalness is always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Asian Redneck says, howdy y'all. Howdy, Asian Redneck. Glad to have you here as always. Thanks for stopping by. Ryan says, what do you think of Dan Electro? Tried one today, and yeah, it felt like a plastic toy, but it was one of the best guitars I've played. I've never played one, actually, but I remember spending like an hour staring at one in a guitar store in Waterford one day. It's like, what is it? Is it a real guitar? Is it like, Like, is it a beginner's guitar? I don't know. I think it was expensive, like super expensive. So I didn't dare pick it up, but I I like the Coke bottle headstock. I think that's just interesting. And Jimmy Page played one, so it's good enough for him. I will also enjoy it, I'm sure. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think they're cool. I think they're cool. But again, I haven't played one, so it's interesting to get your thoughts there that it felt like a plastic toy, but one of the best guitars I've ever played. That's very interesting. Cool. Um, Glenn says, Kush, nice buy. Can't wait to hear what you think when it arrives. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Those 61 SGs are fantastic looking guitars. I'm very, very tempted by them. But it's not the SG I want to add to my collection at the minute. At the minute, but maybe we'll see. We'll see. Um, by the way, whenever I say, I tend to say a lot. I'm hoping to add that to my collection. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that. I don't have the money to buy all the guitars I want to buy. I just want to buy all the stuff. I don't. It's not all going to happen. I might pick up another 2 guitars this year, maybe 3 at a push, and they won't be super expensive. But well, hopefully we'll see. Never know. Crypto might go through the roof, and then they will be expensive. But it's not looking like that's going to happen anytime soon. The Asian Redneck says, just glad I can make it live this week. We're always glad to have you here. So yeah, that's super cool. People swear by Don Electro. I think some of the good YouTubers own at least one. Some of the good YouTubers, Marsha, is it? Sounds like you're not putting Dave in the good YouTubers camp. Interesting. I know who's not being chosen as a moderator. Let's put it that way. I'm just kidding. Pros are using Dan Electros. Robert Baker recommended getting Dan Electro in a live stream. He's got a baritone. The one thing I'd come back to with Dan Electros, Jimmy Page played one in Zeppelin, so in the recording studio, obviously. So yeah, Jimmy played one. I think they might be cool. David Ruiz says, I have been over Gibsons for years, poor QC and inhuman prices, plus the constant blathering of Geek Lord and his Les Paul of the day, and his I started playing last week demonstrations. I can't say anything about that too much, you know. Mine are probably I started playing yesterday demonstrations, but yeah, he does talk about Les Pauls a lot. He loves the Les Paul. I gotta say, like, I feel that way about the SG. I love the SG. If you said I could test drive 100 SGs, I would try every single one of them. I wouldn't get bored with them, and I'd make videos about them all. But I get the point where it gets frustrating and boring. That's why I do guitar wish lists, because I try to do like a different guitar every single week, different brands and stuff like that, and try and add a little bit of history into them as well. If you don't watch Guitar Wish List, it goes out every Monday, and some very cool stuff is coming up on it. If you did miss it this week, it's the BC Rich Bitch, which has the best guitar name of all time, pretty much. So yeah, it's a very cool guitar, and put out some information on it. It's inspired by this book, The 1001 Guitars, by the way, that you should dream of playing before you die. This is a very cool book. I'm really enjoying it, and I've gone through it several times, and I keep marking different ones and like taking the markings off ones that I want to do on the show. But I think I'm actually getting to the point where I'm going to leave the book behind and just come up with other guitars that I want to add to my collection at some point for that. And there won't be Les Pauls and there won't be SGs. Although there will be some repetition, be like, oh, this kind of Les Paul or this kind of SG, but it's getting off point a little bit. But yeah, David's right. I mean, the QC has been poor with Gibson for a long time now. And I think though, I say eventually they'll get it right. I think Jonathan from Casino Guitars said he used to work at Gibson on the factory floor, and it just wasn't a good place to work. And that was in the Henry J era, I believe. So that's interesting. Hopefully it's better to work there now. But I'd like to do what Play and Trade Guitars did, do that tour of the Gibson factory in Nashville and see the actual process. Like, how long have you got to make a guitar? Because obviously that's going to affect the quality of it. But yeah, there are times, I mean, I've been very lucky. Every time I've got a Gibson guitar, it's been in good condition. It's been pretty playable out of the box. Needed minor adjustments. That's about it. So that's why I'm still on side with them. But I understand you get a bad one, it could put a really bad taste in your mouth, especially when you get another bad one and then another bad one and another bad one. Anyway, guys, we've got 10 minutes or so left before the end of the show, so I've got to try and boot through these comments as quickly as possible. So if I do skip some, I apologize, but I do need to get through to the end because I need to try and finish on time, or as close to on time as possible this evening. I have a call scheduled for later. So Mohammed says, and hi Mohammed, nice to see you as always. Thanks for dropping by. Danos are pretty good, and the lipstick pickups sound amazing. Lipstick pickups are really good. Point there actually, yeah, they're interesting and they're different, which is cool. Ryan Byrne, I got a new LP standard and it's perfect, no flaws or anything. Yeah, you get a good one, and you can get good ones. They're great, they are great. I saw a Les Paul I want the other day, and but it's a Henry J era, and a late Henry J era, and I'm like, it's probably bad. Probably something wrong with it. Like seriously wrong. Like anyway, it's probably fixable, but you know, that's just what I feel about that era. They're like 2016 to 2019. I'm like, they could be crap. Marcia says, oh my god, I want to go to Coca-Cola. They have a wall with hundreds of flavored sodas and drinks they make around the world. I would drink till I drown. Don't do that. I mean, enjoy yourself, but you know. Yeah, I believe it's a cool tourist attraction. I mean, it would be fun to go to. I like that kind of stuff, the tours. The best one I've been to is the Guinness Brewery here in Dublin. That's fun. They give you a few tasters of Guinness, which is nice along the way. Look, man, I'm not much of a conspiracy theory, but how did that beer get half empty when we know it's been questioned if he really drinks it at all? I'm just saying, yeah, I've had a bit of a sore throat today, so. As I said, when it's cold, it's nice. It's not that it's never not cold in my gaff, but anyway. Hey Dave, you should check out the Tabasco factory. It's on a dormant volcano that's now an island in a swamp. That sounds like something Batfink 2 would tell me to make me believe it, and then make fun of me for believing it. So anyway, let's have a look here and see what we've got. Trigger 76, nice to see you, Trigger. Thanks for dropping by. Hey Dave, fairly new here. The good old Gibson rant. I'm a bit of a Gibson fan. Was swayed by you to get a Revstar. Very cool. Start the value proposition gap. Yamaha versus Gibson. They're cool. I like the Revstars. The new ones, would I pick one up? I don't know. Maybe. That middle spot was very cool. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. That's very, very cool. The Magnetic Fisherman. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. So thanks for all you do. Love the content. Keep it up, Dave. I'll do my very best. Thank you so much for that. It's a really great comment. I appreciate it so much. Let's have a look. On our streams, we would need mods for the mods. That's true. We constantly need censoring over here. There'd be basically no visible comments anymore. Yeah. So that's why I just kind of keep the reins and just skip over things as much as I can. Mohammed says, Dave, what are your thoughts on 50s Les Paul Juniors? Like genuine 50s ones, I think are great. I think they're very cool. I think if you're looking to buy a 50s Gibson, it's one of the better ways to go. There are other ways you can get cheaper 50s Gibsons, and you can pick up a 50s Gibson about $2,500. But you're talking like 3/4 scale models, stuff like the ES140 and things like that. And I like those guitars, and you know, I'm not opposed to those whatsoever. But the Les Paul Junior is something special. I think particularly the 50s ones, when they brought them out, they're just rock machines. So I think they're very cool. And yeah, I would love to pick one up at some point and add to the collection. I'm probably going to go on Guitar Wishlist at some point, maybe in a few weeks' time. So if you watch that, I might do a rundown of why I think they're so cool. But basically, P90 is the greatest pickup that was ever made, and that's why. Al says, I see KDH is showing videos of guitar shopping in Ireland. Yeah, someone that's what I'm saying to Scott. I must check out and get back to him on. Yeah, I haven't seen that video yet, but I'll check out those stores. He probably went to some stores that I've been to. We will see. SB Bonamos's forehead should come with a gig bag. The forehead doesn't fit. I mean, you know, why is he doing ads? I've seen this. He's doing ads for, is it a whiskey or something, or a rum? Didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, well, I knew rum was a thing, but I don't know what he's advertising them. While we're making the must come with rules, any guitar with a fixed trem over $1,000 should have locking tuners. Hard to disagree with that. Yeah, hard. Locking tuners. Would it be that difficult to add them? I guess they do it for like traditional reasons, but yeah, they definitely should come with locking tuners. That's a very good point, Trigger. Thanks for pointing that out. Chris from Coburg says, hammered. I gotta go re-up at the store. Thanks for stopping by, Chris. Appreciate it. Marge says, welcome. We hope you'll be coming back. We are a weird and insane bunch. Yes, they are. But there's always a really great group of regulars. And we have a great time every week. We do. If you watch my videos, I always say it, there's a great crowd here every Saturday. And it's a lot of fun. It's actually been fairly tame today. It's weird. It's like all newbies today are like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are pretty tame. And there's no talking about weird stuff at all. It's coming. Al says, I'm 63 Les Paul Jr. The P90s are amazing. Yeah, it has an SG body, but I love it. The P90s are the greatest pickups. I love them. They're very cool. And Chris says, Kiss rules. Go Ace. Yeah, Chris, you're 100% there. Yeah, Chris, Kiss are very cool. I saw him play the Tommy Taylor LP and it's stunning in person. Good to know. Yeah, I think they may have just been restocked at a lot of retailers because I'm seeing them pop up a lot the last few days. Everyone knows a Kiss song because they're heavily used in commercials, TVs, and movies. Exactly. Yeah, because Gene Simmons is an amazing businessman. That's it. He's more talented as a businessman than a musician. Benny Larson, in the late 90s, I bought a Washburn with a Floyd Rose special that came in a case. Nowadays, that just wouldn't happen. Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. Everybody remembers their first kiss. I like what you did there, Al. I like what you did. Todd says, everyone knows a Kiss song because Kiss songs are cool. Yeah, they are. I mean, I think they're one of those bands where you're like singing a song, you're like, who sings this song? It's Kiss. What? Yeah, so that's how I found out about Kiss. I was like, this is one of the greatest songs of all time. Who is it? It's Kiss. Like, oh, what? Kiss? It's weird. Yeah, I love Kiss. A little bit of Kiss every now and then. Anyway, there you go. Agree with you about the locking tuners. Yeah, it's a very, very good point. If you want a good deal from a pawn shop, wait outside and ask people going in with guitars what they want. It's a very good tactic. Ryan Byrne says, Irish women, the reason I moved to Canada. There's a good few of them over there now. That's for sure. A lot of people skipped over to Canada for a while. But yeah, it's moving on. Just get in trouble. I have 5 guitars. I keep them all out, either on a hanger or on a stand. I also spread them throughout the house, so I have a guitar in every room. Amazing how much more it makes you practice. That's very true. I like to keep them. Like I keep one by my office here, by the desk that I can just pick up when I get a chance. There's one in the bedroom. There's usually one in the living room as well, on the couch. Yeah, so I do. That's a very good idea, Anthony. It's definitely worth doing that, and it's the excuse I give for having more than one guitar. 2 excuses. I have a YouTube channel, so I sometimes need to do things with other guitars and like reviews and things, so I need to buy more guitars. And the other one being, well, I need to practice a lot, so I need to have guitars all over the place. I'll only get away with it for so long, but there you go. Todd says, I actually paid $120 for a 98 Ibanez or G at a pawn shop, and upon opening the control cavity discovered that for whatever reason it has vintage Gibson branded pots. Nice surprise indeed. Mark says, correction, everyone cool knows a Kiss song because they're cool. That's a good point. Anthony, I do the same. Also keep an old beater acoustic in my car. Very interesting, right? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Robert says, I really want to buy an SG, but every time I look at them, I just don't bond with it. Dave, you love SGs. What does it for you? I so want one. I don't know, because honestly, when I bought my first SG, I'd never played one. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to love this or hate it. But I bought it from Thomann, and Thomann are pretty easy to deal with. If you don't like a guitar, you could just be like, hey, I'm going to send this back. And they'll just take it back. They'll send you returns label. You take it back to the post office, ship it off, you get your money back. So it was cool doing that with them. But when I took that SG out of the box, I was like, this is the guitar I've been looking for. I think it's a balance between the weight of it and the sound of it is something I think you either love or you don't connect with. But for me, I mean, I think the SG can do it all, and I know people don't agree with that, but it's it's very they're very playable. They feel great. You could play an SG for hours and hours and hours, and well, in my case, your back's not going to kill you the way it will with a heavy Les Paul. And I just feel that the shape of it is just super comfortable and awesome. I just really like it. And yeah, I mean, it's a very different experience than like playing the V. It's very different than playing heavy Les Paul. But I think if you give yourself time to play the SG over a few weeks, you will just eventually pick that one up more than anything else. That's what I've done. And honestly, I've said this 1,000 times on the channel. The Epiphone SG Special, the same one that I gave away on the channel and that Scott won. When I bought that one, I was like, this is the best SG I've ever played, having played like about 4 SGs at that point. And I sold last year my Gibson SG Special because of that Epiphone, which was, it sounds crazy, but it's because that was the one I was playing more than the Gibson. So I think if you're looking for an SG, you won't be disappointed in it, and get an SG that you just like the look of. I was obsessed with that Pelham Faded Pelham Blue Gibson one. When they brought out the Epiphone one, I was like, I just pick that up. That's a way better deal. It's like a third of the price. So I can't put my finger on exactly what it is with SGs. They just feel great. And I think Todd is going to back me up, because I know Todd loves his SG as well. I heard Phil McKnight say it's 6% on the signature guitar for the artist's cost before it gets shipped to the retailer. That sounds, and listen, if Phil's saying it, it's probably on the ball there, I would imagine. Let's see, I felt the same. I felt like the Epiphone Prophecy version though. Epiphone Prophecies look very cool. I like those a lot. Yeah. Undercon, I heard next year's NAMM is in April. I haven't heard that. I'm registered for the NAMM updates and I haven't sent out anything that says that. So I think all I know so far is that the summer one is still going ahead. It hasn't been cancelled yet, but other guitar stuff has been cancelled. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes ahead. It's in July or June. It's one of those. The J months. Andrew says, I heard, that's the one I just spoke about. Ryan says, Gibson's Mike Campbell was awesome. Really cool guy. Yeah, he's a very cool guy for sure. And thanks for the great stream, Dave, says Scott. Thank you, Scott, for participating and adding so much to it. Let's see, is there more than one Facebook page for TCD? The one I am in has the last post from February. There's only one that I know of, but I don't post. Very rarely, but Scott posted today or yesterday. So yeah, definitely. By the way, guys, we just hit 35 likes. Thank you so much for hitting your like button there. That really does help out, as I've mentioned earlier. Going to give it about 5 more minutes and pop off then, guys. I hope I'll get to the end of this chat by then, so I'll just try and jump through. Ernie, no, there's only one as far as I'm aware. The only thing I don't like about the RevStar is the lack of locking tuners. The good thing about locking tuners is they can be added. Like, they're the easiest thing to add to a guitar. But you're right, like 100%. Pretty much every guitar should come with them now. Unless they're doing like reissues of like vintage guitars, which I understand then that they're not on them. But it's like a guitar not, or it's like a car not coming with seatbelts. You just wouldn't buy it. So Yeah, maybe the guitar buying public need to band together. Be like, we're only buying locking tuners, guitars with locking tuners from now on, guys. Definitely, three-chord Dave guitars will all come with locking tuners. Trust me. The sound, feel, thin and great fret access, and the looks. That's what I love about SGs. Yes, pretty much. Yeah, Benny has hit the nail on the head right there. Ernie says, dude, when you go to Nam, I will carry your flipping bags and whatever else. Ooh, well, almost. Well, we'll see. Whatever it is next year, whether it's January or April. If it's April, that's pretty cool because it lines up with my birthday. And if it's January, that works too because I can make it happen. Who cares how someone plays doesn't influence whether or not to buy guitars. That's true. There are collectors and players. I think most guitar people fall in the middle. Anywhere or anything over 3 is a collection. I agree. I definitely agree. And anything that's 40 years old is vintage. 39 years plus is vintage. I'm just saying that as someone who owns a guitar that's about to turn 40. What's the scale length of the Revstar? I can't remember off the top of my head. 25 and a half, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that. Cushman on 61 SG got cherry. That's the one. That's the one. It's a very cool. Oh, it's 24.75 for the Revstar. There you go. Has anyone ever tried the Dario XS strings for electric? Nope. I bought a set of those strings. Haven't tried them yet. How many guitars do I need? 0. How many do I want? All of them. Exactly. If owning, let's see, the Dario sent me samples months ago, months back of the XS compared to the XT. I felt the XS coating was way too slick as compared to XT and XS. I only play Ernie balls, so I don't really know what the coating is like on those. Never purposely played them anyway. If owning and playing a guitar is your passion, how many and what do you own? Has fuck all to do with anyone else. True. I'll limit myself to 4, but you could easily get another 4 and probably will if finances allow. That's pretty much it. Like I used to be a guy where when I had spare money, I would travel somewhere and to the detriment of my bank account. And then I'd go on all these trips and stuff and I had a great time. And then, so all of a sudden, I had like this whole global event happened. You couldn't travel anymore. So I was like, I'm going to start buying guitars. And I did. So all my travel money went into guitars. And I maintain that there's a lot worse things you could be buying or spending your money on. So, yeah, everyone can do whatever they want with their money. I think that Clapton guitar I bought last week had coated strings. I kept slipping off them. So I changed the 3 high strings and have no issues. There you go. I was glad to send me an example of the XS so I didn't lose money. I stuck with the XTs in the end. The only thing I liked better about the XS is the tone was clearer and tighter. XT a little bit muddy. Interesting. As I'm going to use Phil McKnight's opinion and use coated strings on guitars I don't use often, just to preserve. Interesting. I just like buy a shitload of Ernie balls, like bulk buy them, and then just, if I haven't used the guitar in a while, restring it. So I'm curious how electric XS. I can't help you with that. Scott Buckfoot, not as bad as a Gibson, average for an Epiphone LP. Another good show, Dave. Thank you for another enjoyable Saturday night. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it. And as I said, I'll be emailing you soon. I just have to remember to do it when I'm actually in my email account. Because what I get in that, I get a lot of spam in that email, and eventually I will remember, oh, Glenn, I have to get back to him. So I will, I promise. SB says, I'm out, guys. Battery at 4%. Thank you all for making my day better. It was a tough one. Till next week. Take care, SB. Thanks for dropping by. Benny, Marsha, and Al, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for everything you have put into the chat. That all means a lot. How does Backlink ruin my credibility? He ruins everybody's credibility. Bye, Ann. Thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Good to have you here. Todd says, peace and love to all the TCD family, and I echo that sentiment. See you all next week. Indeed. Hopefully some videos will come out this week as well. Take care. Lots of goodbyes. And Cushman says, love your show. Thank you, Cushman. Love you coming to the show. It's really great to see everybody every week. Yeah, that was, by the way, washing your hands lengthens the life of your strings. That is true, yeah. By the way, I love that everyone is saying good night and Dave is still going. Yeah, I know. Eventually I'll get to the bottom. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before the stream ends. That's it. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. It has been a super fun stream. It zipped by. We went longer than I expected it to. But yeah, listen, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks for helping out the channel. Thanks for all your thumbs up and your likes and everything. Don't forget to watch the videos when they come out this week. And yeah, see you again soon. Have a good one. Take care and have a great week.